In many ways, the caves are the last frontier of human discovery. We can't point a telescope at them. We can't use sonar or radar to see into them. The only way to know really is to go. We get a chance, in some cases, to be one of, if not the only, human that's ever inhabited that part of our Earth. I'm Matt Scantlin. I'm an entrepreneur and cave diver. I've been diving since I was 12, and I just love the feeling of floating weightless through three-dimensional space. And cave diving for me is a chance to go on incredible adventures with people that I care about.
My name is SJ, and I've been a cave photographer here in Mexico for 4 years. I grew up in Berlin, but originally I am from the UK. Cave diving is my entire world. And when I do photography, it's kind of like my weird way of meditation. I'm in the cave with the camera, and I'm thinking about nothing else.
My name is Henry Frawley-Fulcher. I'm from Arizona, but I spend a lot of my time on the road. I'm a technologist by training, but I'm also a cave diver. Cave diving is a huge challenge. You're taking something with a ton of gear just to survive underwater, and now you're adding to it the cameras, the lights, all the additional challenges of what it takes to tell a story.
My name is Ivo Chiarino, and I'm a local cave instructor here in Mexico. I am originally from Barcelona, but I've been living here in Mexico for 6 years. I fell in love with the caves. Woo! Cenotes are formed through a geological process of water flowing through a very porous type of rock, which in this area of Yucatan, it's limestone. The rainwater over time dissolves part of this limestone, creating underground rivers that eventually are trying to find their way to the ocean. Once these underground rivers are filled with water, they grow over time. The more water flows, the bigger the passages become, and they branch out like a tree. The amount of cave systems in this region make them the longest underwater cave systems in the world. And every year we keep discovering kilometers and kilometers of passage. The possibilities are endless.
I fell in love with the Yucatan Peninsula more than a decade ago for its caves. And as my family started to get a little bit older, we bought a house at Mayakoba to make memories with the kids, but also to be right here in the heart of some of the most incredible cave diving in the world. And in 2020, when the pandemic started, I was taking a break from work, and I was really thinking about what was next. We'd been thinking about exploring caves somewhere in the world, doing an exploration project, but we found an opportunity close to home to say, could we explore the caves at Mayakoba? Could we use the prominence of the property here to show people how incredible this environment truly is? And so we kicked off the project with the goal of exploring the caves on the property, making a coffee table book with maps and photos and some writing, and of making this documentary video. We hope to show what the future of responsible tourism and development could look like, but also to inspire people to love these caves in the same way that we do.
Oh, I've always felt with Mayakoba that the natural surroundings that I called my home to be very magical. For us, we want to know more about the underground rivers of Riviera Maya and the Yucatan, specifically the underground rivers that are beneath Mayakoba, where I call my home.
When we first initially came to Mayakoba, there was a cave system already explored in this area, which is Burrodromo, but it hadn't been dived for many years. Initially, our intention was to resurvey and also check for possibilities of more cave systems.
While there were 2 caves on the property that people knew about, we ended up finding and exploring 6 caves, laid miles of cave line, and surveyed and made maps for some of the most remarkable and interesting and unique caves that we've ever seen in this part of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. There were a couple caves on the property where the entrances were well known, and including one, Burrodromo, on the nature trail, where visitors could actually go in and see the dry part of the cave. And of course, there's the well-known sand trap on hole number 7 of the golf course, and that's been seen on TV all over the world during the PGA Golf Championship.
A moment ago, his second at the par 5 7th.
But no one knew where these caves went. No one knew how they formed an intricate network of underground rivers right below everyone's feet. And this project has allowed us to illuminate that connectivity across these different environments. One of the most beautiful passages in Burrodromo is a passage that goes directly under a little church. And one of the really special things I think about that cenote is this incredible ballroom, really a forest of stalagmites coming from the floor, but almost nothing on the ceiling. And it's this remarkable visual effect, something that we've never seen. And then another unique discovery, perhaps the highlight of the project, was finding Mayain. Mayain is a very coastal cave. It starts about 50 meters from the ocean, which makes it look so much different than Burrodromo. Mayain has incredibly vast passages, the biggest passages of any of the caves that we found so far on the property. And as we sit here today, we're still exploring Mayain.
We feel like we have barely scratched the surface of the true potential of Mayakoba's cave systems. Wing, trisuit.
Check.
We've got a pigtail with markers.
Check.
Cookies, arrows, and check regulators. There is always dangers that one has to learn to prevent. When we explore caves, we don't have a direct ascent to the surface. We are laying a line that we use as a guideline, which allows us to safely travel into the cave and out of the cave. You're not relying entirely on your memory to make your way back home.
You're underwater, underground, in the dark, in a place with no light, no gravity, and everything is working against you. You also need to be prepared for things to go wrong.
How much time have we spent? How much gas do we still have? You're constantly going through this mental checklist.
We're going into a dive with a plan. We also bring to the dive a sense of trust. We've spent hundreds of hours diving together. These are the people that I want to be underwater with. We see crystal palaces of stalagmites and stalactites that formed out of calcite back when the caves were dry, about 15,000 years ago in the last ice age. And today they're really time capsules. They're a place where we can see what the Earth looked like 15,000 years ago.
It's such an incredible environment because we're basically diving back into time. We see things that are so old that our brain can't even comprehend it.
They are like windows to another dimension.
El fuego sagrado transforma el mundo. Sacred fire transform the world. New energy, new time. Oh, Meteo, ahau! The cenote is a very sacred place for indigenous people. The water is giving us the purification. Purification, body, mind, and energy. It's medicine, pure medicine. Divers are trying to find themselves. The cenote is a very dark cave. Represent to going to your own darkness. Represent going to your own unconsciousness. You understand, have more comprehension and love about what is your mission, what are you doing here. It's time to change.
The Cenotes of Mayakoba form a pretty integral part in the way we talk about our resort, a place where people are really doing everything to celebrate this local environment and do everything to make sure that we're protecting it for all the future generations that come to visit Riviera Maya.
It's quite a unique thing to be able to explore Mayakoba, which has been out of limits for most people in the last 30 years.
We're all from different backgrounds, live in different places, but we all love doing the same thing.
You start to get something that's bigger than what any one of you could possibly dream of.
Diving has brought so many important things to my life. It's given me another outlet for creative expression.
I would say diving is a spiritual experience. People often think it's an adrenaline sport, which it's not at all.
I find it to be more meditation than adrenaline. It is a different type of adventure.
This was just an awesome opportunity to see this place that I've called home from a different perspective. The project is really the work of many people, and the thing that I'll remember the most is how it felt when we did something that was aligned around a shared purpose, but was done in a way that allowed all of us to learn and grow. I'm so excited about the possibility that people are going to care more about these places and love them the same way that we do.